Well, I think I'm ready. Well, sure, let's go. Let's make it happen.
Okay. Hey, everybody, welcome. We're here every week, 5:30 p.m. Arizona time. I don't even begin to try to translate that to whatever time zone you're in, but Arizona does not do the time change, daylight savings. So I always just say 5:30 p.m. Arizona time. We do this every week, and then we record these, and we put them on the BizDev Pro Facebook page and into the BizDev Pro Mastermind. So you are welcome to go to the Facebook page and just listen to them again, and just scroll through the previous ones if you've missed something and check those out. Really, the goal of this webinar each week is to provide valuable tips in business development with the philosophy of Thriving Tribe. And so this week, Tom is actually going to share on consultative selling. He may call it something different or introduce it differently, but without taking too much of his time, because I want to give him plenty of time to be able to really cover this. Oftentimes people misunderstand the process of building, not only building network, but converting network into tribe, and then when and where do sales come in? Now, in my opinion, and I believe this is Tom's opinion as well, they're throughout the entire process. It's just my personal philosophy is make a sale when it's appropriate and accurate. If it's not appropriate and accurate, simply don't do it. And that's because part of the objective of Thriving Tribe is win-win-win. You win, they win, and the tribe wins. And if someone's sold on something that they don't need to be sold on, then oftentimes that's not a win-win-win. And it happens. We've all done it. We all do it. We're going to build a lot better ecosystem when we do it appropriately and accurately. And so without taking any more time, Tom, if you're ready, I'd love to have you take it away.
Excellent. Excellent. So audio coming through okay?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So let's start back with some fundamentals. We use the term Thriving Tribe, and I'm going to turn my my camera on here. We use the term Thriving Tribe, and if I could be so audacious to, we okay?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll mute people.
Okay. If I could be so audacious as to say, what would make me want to be in a tribe with you? Okay, the construct of tribe means a construct amongst many things. It means there's something that we've shared that causes us or calls us to be together and want to be together towards some common tribal purpose. Okay, that tribal purpose is different for every kind of person on this call and for every kind of business that you might encounter. But at the core foundation of that is this belief that by being a part of my tribe, I can trust you. I share something in common with you. We have a mutuality or a shared purpose or a shared value set or shared reason to be together. That tribal union comes out of the fact that I've gotten to know you. As I've gotten to know you, I begin to draw together and like you. And you know where this is going. When you have a know and like relationship, it's the foundational element for trust. And everything about the BDP is about focusing on those relationships where you can bring the knowledge and connectivity to someone together with trust to lead to joining forces for your mutual benefit. That is at the foundation of what I'll call consultative selling or trust-based selling or solution selling. There's a myriad of names for it, but when you peel back the labels, underneath the surface of it all, it's always based on a foundation of trust. And consultative selling is always based upon the foundation of trust. Now, I'm going to click through, see who's on this call. I see it. Good. I'm going to share with you something. I will not share the name, but I met here in San Diego about maybe 3 weeks ago with a BDP, and they're not on this call, so you don't have to worry who's hearing this. But we had a wonderful conversation about sales, and this person's in the sales business. They help his clients. Now you know it's a he. He helps his clients get more sales by what he provides to them. And we talked about how he approaches sales. And I spent some time talking about the consultative approach that he might consider taking. And we went through, over an extended cup of coffee, the style of approach that he was using and the style of approach that he might add to what he was using. And he came away with a to-do list, a set of action items, took them home, put them to work, and it was about 3 weeks later, just recently, we had a follow-up call, and he said something dramatic has changed in the way our sales are going. He said, when we applied this process that you advised me on, we went from a 20% close rate to a 100% close rate on every sales call that we had made in that interval. Now, I don't promise that. I can't ensure or guarantee that. That's extraordinary. I applaud that. However, the important thing to recognize is something dramatic changed to change the way he was being received in the offering up of a family of services to his prospective clients. And that's where the consultative engine was put into gear by him. Now, you ask, what is the consultative engine? It's really not all that complicated. I've been in consultative sales for longer than probably the ages of all the people added up on this phone call. You too, Brad.
How do you do that at age 39?
Okay. Anyhow, the consultative engine in sales always starts and always focuses on the other person, the suspect. Notice I didn't say prospect, the suspect. Person who you suspect you might be able to do something for. And you're not aiming for the sale, you're aiming to create the relationship that could lead to uncovering the need, that could lead to potentially you're helping them meet that need. Okay, but it always is founded, based around the building of that initial trust. Now, I don't know if you've ever thought of it this way, but there's a natural tendency, common tendency, that in every consultative sales process, you have to overcome what has been called the primal lack of trust. I meet you for the first time. You don't know me from anyone. In order for us to have even a scintilla of an opportunity to work together, we've got to find a common ground in which the trust flow can begin between you and I. That common ground is focused on overcoming the cautiousness that we all bring, whether it's overtly or subvertly, but we all bring into every connection. Now, you can be friendly as the dickens, but until I know you're really interested in what my problem is, or we have something in common about our lifestyle, I don't know whether I want to listen to you. I don't know if you've got the credentials. I don't know if you've got the trustworthiness. So the very first thing you have to do is to start bridging the gap that naturally exists between us. And what I focused on with this person, this BDP, is okay, stop coming in and trying to get bang, bang, close a sale. Stop. You may have the best solution ever between all the services that you provide versus what I'm doing today. But until I have some sense of mutuality, some sense of relationship with you, I'm not sure I'm going to go to the place of even seriously considering what you have to say, what you have to bring. So it's very important. And you know, we can talk for a few hours, and Brett, I suspect we're going to have version 2 and 3 and 4 of this dialogue in the weeks ahead.
Absolutely.
But what I want you all to do or take away today is when you're out in your markets and you're meeting people with the hopes of building your business and the hopes of building your tribe, that the very first thing that you focus on is you've got to find the common ground in which to start. I know there's nothing surprising to you all about this, but what you need to understand is that institutional lack of trust comes with all of us. It's innate. It probably goes back to caveman times when if we saw a stranger, we didn't know whether they were friend or foe, and therefore we took a defensive position until we could determine if they were a friend. Okay, so how do you build that initial breakthrough on a relationship front? And here's the learning for you in today's time. The way you break through that primal lack of trust is you've got to come to know as much as you can about the person you're meeting with before you meet with them, and equip yourself to be sharing what you would find bridge building information that would create the relationship. Just prior to this call, I hung up the phone with a mortgage broker up in Orange County, California, about 50 miles north of where I am right here. Our very first call, he was referred into me by a consultant, and his goals are to grow his practice as a mortgage broker. We started out the conversation talking about the things that we share in common with. Isn't that interesting? We share a common relationship. So that common relationship and the trust that we personally or individually share with that common relationship became currency for us to bridge together to start our relationship. And as we peeled back that onion to see, well, why were you a friend of Will's and why am I a friend of Will's? And all of a sudden we saw connection points personally. And in closing, I come to learn going into this conversation that this gentleman had just recently become a granddad. He had a granddaughter born a week ago. And I said to him in our conversation, well, how does it feel to be a grandfather? How are you doing with that? And you can imagine his eyes lit up, and we were on a Zoom call just like this, so I could see his facial expression. And all of a sudden now we're on the same wavelength. As I spoke to this BDP a few weeks ago, I said, okay, you got to get on the wavelength of the people you're trying to build relationships with, whether it's people to expand your tribe, whether it's people to become users of your services. Stop, take a look at who they are, what they are interested in, find the common ground for you to connect with, and focus on that bridge building, relationship building set of activities. Because when that builds, the door opens. It doesn't open to closing a sale, by the way. Greg, you said something at the very beginning of this conversation about not every person you meet with should be someone you're meeting with to make a sale. I'm in total agreement with you. Total agreement. I know people who I don't want to buy my product after I get to know them. We're just not a good fit. If I were to sell them what I have, I'd be doing them a disservice, perhaps. or setting myself up for problems. I'm better off finding areas that we can help each other, working towards making that connection at that level. And the ones who I can't help, maybe I can help them by sending them somewhere else where they can get the solution to what they need. But I used a term there. The term I used was open the door. Once you have the relationship bridge, the initial connection where now you're having that conversation about shared interests, shared backgrounds, shared goals, shared relationships. Once you have that, the tension lowers in the whole conversation, and you have the opportunity to go in and find the needs of the person you're trying to talk with. I don't know how many people I've taught sales to over the years, hundreds. I don't know how many people I've taught multiple times, but every time I go back into this whole construct, I learn something new. I refresh myself. In order for me to get to the place where we're going to talk about your needs and the emotional drivers behind your needs, because people buy to solve emotional needs, not just to buy products. I mean, the last car I bought because it fit my emotional perspective as to what I would like to enjoy and look like driving that car. It just doesn't apply to a car. It applies to all elements of life. In order to get to where I will share my emotional needs with you, I'm going to have to feel like it's comfortable, it's safe, and you're qualified to be one I can share with. And that once you open up that relational flow, all kinds of things break out. One thing that happens when you're other-centered like this, and it is other-centeredness when you're trying to build that trust, is you've immediately set yourself apart from all the other people who are out there pitching a product or a service. Fred, I'll never forget the meetings we went to together in Boise where we showed up every morning at 8 o'clock, every Monday morning at 8 o'clock. You walk into a room, and it was a networking meeting, and you remember some of these events, where people were in just hawking their goods. That's H-A-W-K, hawking their goods. All they wanted to do was close a sale, make a sale, make a sale. It had very little result, very little value for the people who were being pitched. Instead, when you walk in the room and start connecting at a relational level and trying to learn something about the other person and what their needs are, all of a sudden the flow back and forth between you becomes productive, becomes connected, becomes relational. So I just want to urge you that you've got to take on the mindset of a bridge builder, the mindset of other-centeredness, the mindset of a problem solver. And when you bring that into the tribe building process, what emerges is you stand out. You become recognizable. I used to really enjoy the buzz that I would hear of. And that buzz is once I've been investing in a community that way, and in Boise, this is how I built my business. I invested in the community by going in and giving and giving and giving relationally. And as I gave, the buzz increased and increased and increased. And people started seeing me as valuable, as an expert, and as a go-to person for the kinds of things that I was doing. And that's what's available to you as you build tribe effectively, as you apply accurate activities. you bring the right thoughts, as Brett likes to say, accurate thoughts, accurate activities into bear, you're going to be building a persona in your community, within your tribe and beyond, that you're the go-to person. So, Brett, I could spend another hour talking about this. I don't know if we have some questions or you want to add some comments, but the very first step, I'll just reiterate, is building the relational bridge so that you and the persons you're talking to and communicating with can come across and make that connection.
It's brilliant, Tom, and I'm really glad that you're covering the basics and really the foundation of this topic. Well done. It brings so many different things to mind. I'll give a couple quick stories, a few comments, and then maybe, like you said, we can open up for questions. The other day I had an individual in network marketing. These are all beautiful people, by the way. I really have respect and enjoy these people. So as I tell you these stories, they're really just to learn from them, certainly not to judge or criticize. Individual contacts me on social media and says, hey, I just got involved in this new company and I respect you and I want your opinion. This becomes what we call in the marketing world a platitude. Now, I happen to enjoy this person and have some respect for her. And so I said, of course, I'll listen. Let's get on a call. But I said, I only have 20 minutes. So it's my 20-minute discovery call that I'll allow. So I get on the call. Wonderful conversation. They honored the 20 minutes. I was introduced to her upline, and her upline gets on, and everything, and please understand, this isn't a negative, but everything that was pitched had to do with money, which is the least of my concerns, interests, and desires at this season of life. Had they started with purpose, intention, humanity, things that I'm more interested and aligned with today, then I may have been more receptive to the presentation, probably still not a client, but I would have been more receptive. The reason they couldn't is because no one asked. No one asked what was important to me. That's one of the beginning things we want to do in consultative selling is just don't be afraid to flat out say, hey, you know, Tom, what's really important to you? Some people it's money, some people it's purpose, some people it's they want to make a name for themselves, they want to be on stage. I go, don't be afraid to share the real desires you have with me. I literally say these words, don't be afraid to share what you really desire with me. I'm not going to judge it. So you don't need to give me answers that sound good. Just tell me what you're really after. If I'm really going to be valuable to you, I would do a disservice to try to give you value in areas that you're not even really interested in. So that really helps open the door. Okay. What's important to you? Another situation, this was another network marketing individual. I happen to very much appreciate the company that he's a part of. I think they have a great product. The product's Legal Shield. I think it's very valuable for people that use it, but I had a subscription I didn't use for quite some time, and so I canceled it. So anyway, this individual gets in touch, and every conversation we had was, man, Brett, you're good at this, you're good at that, wow, you have a lot of wisdom, blah, blah, blah. It was all like buttering, or what's flattery, right? Tom, we've experienced this many, many times, flattery. And then the prepping, like the programming, all of the cliches to get me in the right frame of mind to say, here's my product. Now, through 3 different conversations, it all led to basically saying, look, you're silly if you don't have this protection. Never asked me what I wanted, what was important to me. He called me the other day and he pitched me extremely hard on buying the product. Brett, if you do this, I promise you, I'm going to be your best friend. I'm going to get you discounts. I'm going to get you partnerships. I'm going to get you coverage. I'm going to get you protection. And I said, whoa, 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 wait a second. Brother, I love you and care about you. And I just want to stop you right there and say you're missing by about 100 miles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you haven't asked me what I deem important and what I want. See,
Yeah.
if you put all the Legal Shield reps into the pool, which they are, what would make you different than 5,000 other Legal Shield reps in the greater Phoenix area? There's music to my ears that if you'll sing the song, I'm going to open up. You've got to go from pitching me the product to valuing what's important to me. This is going to open me up and build more trust, as Tom said. I'll stop there for a second, Tom, and let you make some comments.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to give you all a couple of tactics. One of the things I do before every single meeting is I ask myself, what could I bring to this meeting that I could leave behind that would be memorable and valuable to the person I'm meeting with? That's a bridge building give, if you will. And my context is helping people grow their business. So if I have a tool that really is helpful, universally helpful to people growing their business, I'm going to give you that tool whether we go anywhere or not, because I want to become memorable, I want to become valuable, and I really do want to build a bridge with you. And the people who I've done that with over the years end up giving me far more, many more introductions to opportunities. This is what Tribe does, because I turn those people into Tribe, and they give me introductions to far more opportunity than they represent themselves.
Exactly.
So ask yourself, what do you have besides yourself? I mean, looking at all these beautiful people on the call with us, besides what you bring yourself, what can you leave behind that leaves a bit of you, a trace of you that stands there and talks to that individual after you've left? You may never do a lick of business with them. However, you've made a connection, and that connection could pay dividends sometime off in the future.
That's huge. And I know, Tom, you do this and you do a really, really good job of it. But if you're going to research them ahead of time and you find out through their social media that they like hiking, and you bring them an article on hiking in Sedona or somewhere close to their region, somewhere they can actually visit, go, man, I saw that you were interested in hiking. Here, I found this article, or I found this trail that I thought you might like. That's going to go miles to open up the doors. What we don't want to do, and this happened to me today, someone on LinkedIn, I finally woke up one of the 600 million people on LinkedIn, and because 599 million plus are asleep, but just a little dig there. But this individual says, we connect, he compliments me on my profile, great, great, great. I'm waiting for the shoe to fall, as it always does. In fact, I'm going to just pause there and say something. It's so easy to succeed in the new world. Just don't do what everyone else is doing. That's the real key.
Yeah.
It's so predictable, right? The predatory sales, the common thought. What's nice about the BDP is we uncover uncommon thought. So he gets on LinkedIn and says, Brett, I have this free guide. I noticed that you're an authority on certain things. And this free guide, I want to give it to you as a gift. Now, I don't know, it's Christmas time almost, right? And when we give these gifts at Christmas, is there a contract in it that says, if I give you this gift, then enroll in my program? No, a gift is a gift, right? You don't want to be a wolf in sheep's clothing where we offer free things and then go into the sales process. If you offer a gift, let it be a gift. If it's not going to be a gift, say, look, I have an item of value I want to give you in exchange for an opportunity to earn your business through getting to know you better. And then begin that process. That's totally congruent, honest, ethical. But what happened here is I accepted, as research, I accepted the gift, comes into my email, followed by an email every day, and followed by 3 or 4 messages on LinkedIn on a daily basis, all saying, I'm not trying to be high pressure, except I am. And that's what it means to be a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, Tom. I'll let you say your
No,
thoughts.
no, that's such a great example. You know, here's a contrary way to approach this, or perhaps something you can use. I've adopted the statement in the getting to know you dialogue that says, you know, I don't know if we're really a good fit for each other, but I'm sure enjoying the opportunity to get to know you.
Exactly.
Lower the tension. Just
Yep.
lower the.
Tom, I think that's brilliant, and it's really a great place to just ask if there are any questions. But I do it the same way. I say, look, I have no expectation that this is going to go somewhere dramatic for me, dramatic for you, other than let's discover the highest and best. Maybe we end up friends, maybe we end up clients of each other, maybe we end up parting ways, but let's discover the highest and best. But can we both agree? Here's a powerful statement I want to give you to wrap this up. Can we both agree to do our part to discover the highest and best? Which means we'll make contact, we'll follow up, we'll follow through, we'll ask questions, we'll get to know each other. Can we both agree to discover our highest and best? And both be okay to accept what that is.
Good.
Oh,
Good.
Brett, I love that. That sounds wonderful. Let's do it. And you're well on your way.
Yeah, Brett, in sales parlance, that's called an upfront contract, and it's one of the most powerful tools you can use in the consultative sales process. It's an agreement to agree without an obligation to climb into a closing environment or a closing conversation. And it's a powerful, powerful tool.
And wouldn't you say, Tom, that it helps to take down defenses, build some trust?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well,
I've seen it inappropriately used.
Sure.
Where people say, well, if I can do this, will you buy? That's
Right.
not a good upfront contract. That's a terrible one. I'm not going to make that commitment to you. In fact, I'm going to run as fast as I can.
Great point. There were a lot of great subtle points that Tom made today. Just before we're at our time. These things are always too short, but I think they're appropriate for the busy lifestyles people have these days. But any quick questions? If you have a question, just put it in the chat or say it. But try to keep it into one or two quick sentences that we can ask Tom before we sign off here.
Just once again, gents, exactly what I needed to hear today. It was a tough sales day today, and getting back to fundamentals that work rather than all the extra noise. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
One question from me. So basically, you know, this is from my life experience, you know, in these days. I'm trying to settle down myself. And whatever you said, it's highly appreciable. I love to be here. And so what I learned from it, you know, when we say we have to have a trust, it means an honesty. Because honesty and the trust, I think these are the basics for life. It's not about only business. In every kind of relationship, don't you think that it is the key to every success in general, I mean, for the soul, for the human being?
Absolutely. Good. Wise
Yeah,
words.
I agree.
Wise words.
Thank you. You know, we're putting in the book. It's whoever said it's just business, not personal. There is no such thing as just.
There is no such thing. I agree with you.
Right. It's all personal, and the process on the other end of technology, on the other end of every activity, every technique, is another human that has thoughts, feelings, emotions, and wants, needs, or desires. And that's what we really want to uncover in this process. So, guys, thank you so much. I wish we had more time, but I want to honor the fact, and we're already 5 minutes over. Next week, Tom, we'll pick this conversation back up.
Look forward to it. Next week's a holiday. We're going to probably.
Oh, yes. You're right. We will not be on next week. So the following week, thank you for that. I've got to plan time for holidays. But yeah, we'll be on the following week.
And I just have to say, Derek, I like your new BDP recruit there. Very good.
Yeah.
It started young.
Beautiful.
Trained him right the first time.
All right.
Awesome. 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 Appreciate all of you.
Okay,
Thank you
take
so
care,
much.
guys.
Have a wonderful
Yeah,
night.
enjoy.
Thank you.
Great job, Tom. Thank you. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Brett, brother.
Yeah, yeah.
So one quick question. How, I don't know, do we gonna have some time together to talk about things, in general? Give
Sure.
ideas, share, give ideas taken. I want to get into some action, so I would love to hear from you. Maybe, I don't know, I mean, in general, I would like to participate because your advice, I know it's highly valuable. Probably we learn from each other, no matter what. I would love to make this happen. Get some
Yeah,
action.
buddy. Absolutely. Why don't you message me on Facebook and let's set up a time to chat, okay? I'd love to talk to you.
Likewise, brother.
All
I'll
right,
let
man.
you
It's
know.
really good to see you.
Likewise, brother. Take care, okay?
Okay, you too.
All right, brother.
You bet.